Funding for videos like this is provided by contributions from the generous folks over on Patreon and Ko-fi. Tune in to the end of the video to learn more. Thank you. Hey, how goes it, everyone? Hope you're all doing well. I am here to do a admittedly late reaction to Simone versus Kyle, because I had work today and wasn't able to start seeing it until it is now, 10:03 in the afternoon, and I am thankful that I did not avoid... I'm thankful that I avoided any spoilers until now. I am joined by a new face and friend of the channel, Nitrox.
Hello.
Yeah. Also, if I sound or feel like a little off, at least part of it is because I'm still getting over a cold. Because the weather here has been kind of fucky. But before we actually get into the episode, how fucking excited are you, Nitrox?
I am really excited because from what I've seen, it seems like the crew has put in a lot of passion and effort into this, and I'm gonna say this with all my heart, with all sincerity. I feel like this might be another Bowsegg situation, just despite what I've seen so far.
We will see. We will see.
I can't wait.
I did see that the track released a little early. I have not listened to it yet, but I do know that the title is like Spiral of Emotion, which it's fine. It's a fine title. It does what it sets out to do.
It makes sense.
Yeah. Admittedly a bit of a shorter intro just because it's not a live thing and there's not really a lot to go over. I'm just excited for this to be a really fucking cool fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, in that case, we'll get started. Nitrox, you ready?
I'm ready.
Hell yeah. Alright, 3, 2, 1, and let's go.
Simone the Digger,
Kyle Rayner, the White Lantern.
two men born of Earth with the willpower to pierce the heavens and conquer infinity.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
This is gonna be wild.
It is.
Deep underground, Jiha Village lived in dreary isolation, oblivious to the wider world above their squalid cave.
That's where the hero of our story comes in. The young man who would lead his comrades into the sunlight at last.
Life just gets in the way sometimes.
Oh, and his little brother from another mother, Simone. He was there too, I guess.
Simone was a digger, content to drill endlessly through the dirt, until the day he found the core drill.
The key that activated the mysterious buried mech that Kamina named Lagan. Under his magnificently masculine leadership, Kamina finally drilled their way to freedom, seeing the sun after a life in the dark.
But the sky was by no means the limit. The surface was ruled by the cruel chimeric beastmen, and Kamina would lead his compatriots against them to reclaim the Earth for humanity, scoring a second mech in the process, aptly named Gurren.
And as befits Kamina and Simone's unbreakable brotherly bond, Gurren and Lagan merged, creating Gurren Lagan.
With Kamina piloting the body and Simone the head, these two were unstoppable.
Of all the giant fighting robots in all the animes across history, Gurren Lagan might just be the absolute coolest, fueled by its pilot's willpower and capable of making any weapon they can imagine,
including missiles, a jetpack, a sunglasses boomerang, and of course,
drills! Wrist-mounted drills, kunai drills, shield drills, kamehameha drills, and everyone's favorite, the Giga Drill Bureku! Side note, it is so funny that the only thing they could think of was drills. That's like if I made booze or something, my whole personality.
With Gurren Lagan's awesome power, Kamina laid waste to enemy forces, liberated human villages, and fomented a rebellion against the Beastmen King, Lord Genome.
Until Kamina died. Oh, wait. Shit, was that supposed to happen?
Nope, and it was all Simone's fault. He let his willpower waver, and his soul brother paid the price. After all, he was just a humble digger, at home in the darkness, guided solely by the light of Kamina's spirit.
So his big bro left him with these final words. Have faith in the Simone who believes in you. Damn.
Kamina was the one looking up to him the whole time. It was Simone who found Logon, Simone who pierced the surface, and Simone who would now lead humanity to victory.
Especially with his gal pal Nia at his side, who helped pull him out of his rut and kick Lord Genome's ass. But victory only lasted 7 years before the anti-spiral attacked.
Unimaginably powerful godlike aliens, the anti-spiral feared humanity's potential, what they dubbed the Spiral Nemesis.
Remember how Gurren Lagann runs on fighting spirit? Turns out that's just a manifestation of spiral power, an energy that all spiral beings, like humans, have. That's right, the laws of physics run on chutzpah.
Just as the spiral turned inward represents endless obsession and madness, the spiral turned outward spins forever into infinity, the perfect representation of humanity's evolutionary potential.
Potential Simone would use as he led Team Dai Gurren across the multiverse to take the fight to the anti-spiral. And this is when Gurren Lagann gets crazy.
Channeling spiral power lets you constantly
As if it
adapt to
already
threats,
was
no
before.
matter how overwhelming.
Like, what do you
Simone
mean
can
now
create
it's getting
portals to different
crazy?
realities and higher dimensions. He can generate force fields, absorb energy attacks, and even merge Gurren Lagann with bigger and stronger machines.
Creating the Arc Gurren Lagann, which is strong enough to shatter space and time with a punch.
Or the Super Galaxy Gurren Lagann, which can fire lasers that are fast enough to hit, and I quote, all time, space, and dimensions, all within a Planck instant.
That's the smallest unit of time physically possible.
Meaning
goodness.
each laser would have to be moving 4.6 times 10 to the 117th power times faster than light.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Oh, well, looks like this wins the award for fastest calculated speed feat in our show's history. Congratulations, Gurren Lagann.
Move over, SpongeBob. You've been dethroned.
Oh.
Oh, and the guidebook
Watch
says
I'll
they
take it
hit
the next
an
analysis for
innumerable
real.
number of enemies across infinite
Yeah.
universes. You literally cannot calculate how fast that is.
But it wasn't enough to escape the anti-spiral's greatest trap, the multiverse labyrinth, an attack that imprisoned Simone in his own unique multiverse, forced to experience an infinite number of alternate realities that controlled his mind, permanently arresting him in a dream world.
Except Simone and his spiral power are just built different. And after being inspired by his bro, Simone absorbed that whole multiverse to escape.
What makes this even more impressive is that this labyrinth was 11-dimensional, meaning Simone absorbed a higher dimensional structure several orders of infinity greater than himself. The jump between dimensions is basically infinite.
In the
Each
top
new
right.
dimension adds a new direction of space that extends infinitely, thus
Oh.
an infinite gap in size and scope.
What?
Oh, we're just getting started. Imagine a two-dimensional drawing interacting with a three-dimensional person.
Okay. That's not too far off from what actually happened.
Because when Simone absorbed the multiverse labyrinth, he merged with every alternate universe version of himself, including an alternate universe Simone who is writing his own alternate universe version of Gurren Lagann. And that author's spiral power made his fictional Simone real, adding another to the mix.
Wait, if every human being has spiral power, you're telling me we can all do this shit?
This all gave our Simone enough spiral power to form the next step in mecha evolution, Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann.
This is when Gurren Lagann gets actually fucking crazy. Like
What do you
shooting
mean
missiles that
now
alter
it is?
probabilities so they have a 100% chance of
No,
hitting
we
you,
already
or
fucking won
tossing
the first
galaxies
time.
around like frisbees. Sorry, did I say galaxies? I meant universes.
Simone's power was so
Galaxy
immense that he
Chuckers.
started generating super spiral
Oh my
space, a higher dimension encompassing our own universe.
With it, Simone turns his thoughts into reality, letting him create his mech and all of its weapons in the first place.
Not only does this mean he no longer needs co-pilots, he can also regenerate any damage done to him or his mech just by willing it back into existence.
Like when Lord Genome used spiral power to survive quantum breakdown, or the time Nia, now the best wife in the universe, used spiral power to constantly regenerate her body from being erased at the informational level for 7 days straight.
Information in physics is essentially the ones and zeros that make up every possible outcome in reality. Nia literally regenerated from the statistical certainty of her own destruction.
If I have spiral power,
That's
whiz,
fucking
when the
insane.
fuck is my leg growing back?
When even this was not enough for the anti-spiral, Simone evolved one more time.
Into Super Tangentopa Gurren Lagann!
This mech is so big, its size is literally incalculable. And with a drill somehow even larger than that, Simon and his friends shattered the anti-spiral once and for all.
Hey, cruel indifference of the universe! Meet the indomitable human spirit!
Proving Kamina's words
just like the
prophetic,
gift,
that Simon's drill is the drill that would pierce the heavens.
With no more worlds left
this
to
is
conquer,
fucking-
Simon chose to wander the earth for the rest of his days, in service to others.
Always looking up.
Yes,
For all the
do
lights
it.
in the sky are stars, and every star another world of spiral cousins that can live free.
All thanks to a humble digger.
That's a nice way to end it. I like that.
That's a
The
really good
universe is
analysis.
a dangerous place.
All right, Kyle
Should you
time.
find yourself face to face with an
Yay.
interdimensional vampire, alien dictators, or this one really pissed off cat, you know who to call.
The Green Lantern Corps! They're the Space
I
Fuzz,
love
an
the
intergalactic
fucking,
police
like,
force
different
founded
stuff.
billions of years ago by blue leprechaun gods.
And
my
the
God.
greatest Green Lantern among them was everyone's favorite,
Now you can tell
Hal
this was a
Jordan.
Mac
You
edit.
know him, you love him, you
Ryan
might
Reynolds.
hate him,
Oh.
but you gotta respect the man with a will as unbreakable as Hal's.
until the day his will broke.
After
That
his
joke was
hometown
coming
got completely obliterated, Hal lost his mind. He rampaged through the core, killing everyone in his path, and absorbed the central power battery, the literal Green Lantern.
Becoming the
Sinestro,
Emerald Tyrant,
please, I
Parallax.
need
There was
you.
only one survivor of Parallax's killing spree,
fucking matchups for it.
Ganthit. And with what remained of
know,
his
I know he has,
strength,
like,
he
a
gave the
Blaze Blue
last Green
matchup.
Lantern ring in the universe
Like,
to a
Toomey.
human,
Yeah.
Kyle Rayner.
So,
Yes,
was
wow.
Kyle picked for
There's
his
the-
indomitable
there's the
willpower like Hal was?
Ah, he was just there. He had no
Like
idea what was
Superman
going on.
agent.
Must
He's a
feel good
camera-
being given the
camera
most dangerous
mention.
magical
Oh
weapon
my
in
gosh,
existence
he's
to
literally
figure
just
out on
like
your
me
own.
for real.
Hey, if Colonel Sanders, Daffy Duck, Space Wheat, and a sentient box can master it, what's your excuse,
I love
Kyle?
that.
The Green Lantern
I love
ring
how
can do
fucking
anything,
weird the
fulfilling
lanterns
any
get.
wish its user desires as though it were a genie
Can't
from
like
a
any
lamp.
living
It
thing
lets you
inhabit
fire
a
energy
lantern ring.
blasts, create force
Yeah.
fields, affect gravity,
fucking
turn
living
invisible and
planet.
intangible, manipulate matter,
Yeah,
time travel,
go.
warp reality,
Yeah,
and
but-
erase things from existence.
Think we're exaggerating? Well, consider the time Kyle stretched the
Jesus
very
Christ.
fabric of space to
That's-
increase the Planck length
That's
a
a laundry
billion
list.
billion times
that's
over.
just the Green
That's like
Lantern
stretching
stuff.
an inch into a light year.
Oh dear, we're
Lanterns
gonna get to
control
White
time
Lantern
and
soon.
space, letting them fly so fast they can create a speed
Ooh, I like
force
the look of
singularity.
that ending.
Tapping into the Speed Force requires entering a higher dimension of space, requiring speeds that are not only faster than light, but totally immeasurable. And the rings have an artificial intelligence that operates just as fast, automatically protecting its user from danger.
Like the time that Poozer Kilowog survived being erased from existence by the crisis on Infinite Earth.
The ring is fueled by its user's willpower and limited only by their imagination.
While Hal may have had the greatest willpower in the Corps, Kyle's imagination is unmatched. Probably because he's
I
a
love
comic
that.
book
The
artist.
imagination
And we
is my
know from
favorite
this
part of
show,
the Lanterns, honestly.
they think of some wild shit.
But the Green Lantern's most recognizable ability is their constructs, Kyle's speciality.
Samurai armor, pirate ships, giant dragons, actual working home computers, and his favorite, super fighting robots. Hey, that one looks familiar.
Kyle can make them strong enough to lift
I
the
can't wait for
Spectre,
the mech
who weighs
fight.
as
It's
much
gonna be
as
so sick.
eternity.
Or hold back a 12.3 dimensional Big Bang. Wait, 0.3? DC's multiverse has 12.3 dimensions? That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
The ring's only
you.
downside is that it's
so
limited to
fucking
24
dumb,
hours
but
before
in a way
needing a
that I can't
recharge.
help but-
So it can blow up universes, but it has the battery of an iPhone. Never mind, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Although I'd say Kyle's biggest weakness was Kyle. With great
Oh my
power
God.
came no responsibility.
Perhaps a manifestation of Kyle's self-doubt. Any reflection came too late, though, when one of Kyle's villains brutally murdered his girlfriend, Alex, and put her body in a fridge.
Kyle wasn't the only one traumatized.
It's that
this
moment.
moment
Yeah.
was so infamous, it started the trope called fridging.
For how female
Oh my
characters are
God,
often
yeah.
sacrificed as mere plot devices to further a male character's development.
So it might
I love
surprise
how
you that it
they're
happened to
addressing that,
Kyle
'cause, like, that's such a
again.
huge
Kyle
deal.
finally got serious.
Like,
He
not
became
just
a
for
prominent
Kyle, but,
member
like,
of the
in
Justice
general.
League,
I
faced
love
off
that.
against Hal, and even rebuilt the Green Lantern Corps better than ever.
But little did he know, this torchbearer's greatest journey had only just begun.
In order to save Ganthit from an emotional lobotomy. It's a long story. He had to master all the colors of the emotional electromagnetic spectrum.
There are 7 colors, each representing a different emotion. The yellow light of fear lets Kyle manipulate the worst horrors in your mind. The more scared you are of him, the stronger he becomes.
Orange light is fueled by bottomless avarice,
so
possessing Kyle
hard.
to absorb not merely his enemies' attacks, but also their souls.
Red is rage, ripping out Kyle's heart and
Well,
replacing his
confidence.
blood with napalm, which sounds like it sucks, but it's metal as hell.
Blue light is powered by hope and allows Kyle to heal wounds, resist mental domination, and supercharge his ring.
Indigo is compassion, reducing his opponent's will to fight and letting him open portals across space, connecting him to others.
The final one was the sapphire light of love. With it, he can trap enemies within crystal matrices and control their minds. But Kyle only mastered it by forgiving himself for Alex's tragic death.
Oh, self-love. I get it. Must be nice. And with their powers combined, he doesn't just make his enemies taste the rainbow.
The lights of the spectrum merged and Kyle became a White Lantern with total control over the power of light.
Wiz, I cannot think of an attack more useless in death battle than something that makes you live.
Empowered by the physical embodiment of all life in the DC multiverse, Kyle is vastly more powerful than any other lantern in existence.
Far stronger than Hal, who could harness the energy of every power battery across the multiverse.
Not only can Kyle instantly heal all wounds, purify corruption, and resurrect the dead, the white light of life is strong enough to go up against threats to all of creation, like the Anti-Monitor.
Okay, so it's not
There he
totally
is.
useless.
Especially after Kyle visited the source and acquired the life equation. Essentially the source code to reality, the life equation is mathematical proof that life is worth living.
With it, Kyle can alter all of reality at a whim, even threatening the new gods like Darkseid.
The life equation, like its counterpart, the anti-life equation, is a conceptual artifact from a higher reality, originating in a platonic realm that is, in a sense, more real than we are.
So it's not a shock that the equation made Kyle too powerful.
He struggled to control it, and it subconsciously manifested a being composed of his fears and anxieties. Oblivion. Kyle's greatest weakness was still himself.
Kyle spent his whole life struggling with the power that the gods granted him, and throughout it all, he always rose to the occasion, carrying the universe on his back.
But ultimately, the only way to stop power
And
from
they're really
corrupting
going
is
into
to
Kyle's, like,
spread
whole
it.
character,
So Kyle split the life
like how
equation into
everything,
pieces
like,
to found
led
his second
into the
core,
man who he
the
is
White
now.
Lanterns. And together, they shattered Oblivion, destroying the self-doubt that plagued Kyle once and for all.
Not bad for a comic book geek from LA.
And now he was the one giving out rings of unlimited power to people who weren't sure if they could command it.
So he told them the truth. You can't teach someone how to use such power. You have to learn yourself, making mistakes along the way.
But with the power of life at their command, there's no end to their journey, only endless beginnings.
I love that.
Hey, remember Beerus versus Sailor Galaxia?
I really like
Well,
both
that's
a lot.
because it was taken off YouTube for being too
they're
anime.
add to
But
the
we've got a
website. Nice.
solution. It's our own
Sure wish
website.
the archive
That's
wasn't
www.deathbattle.gg. It's like our own private Patreon, with a store for Death Battle merch and a complete Death Battle video archive. It's got episodes that YouTube has banned, blocked, and censored, and there's even more goodies on the way. So check out deathbattle.gg
Yeah, they brought
live
back
right
the
now.
fucking thing from Spawn Rider. Love it.
Let's go.
All
Damn,
right,
I
the combatants
remember
are
the
set,
report.
and we've run the data through all possibilities.
Go, let go.
It's time for a death battle!
Simon, please.
Oh, this is gonna be so sick. I'm so excited. Oh! Already!
Alright, I'm not rusty at all.
Whoa!
Hey dude, Green Lantern Officer Kyle Rayner here. Ring says you've got a Class A galactic super weapon, whatever that is. I'm thinking it's the giant mech. Why don't you hand it over?
Glasses.
Gurren Lagann's mine, officer. Just who the hell do you think you are?
Hell yeah!
Oh,
Oh yeah, this is sick. Already.
I'm told I'm God with authority.
Oh my god!
Tell me about it. 4!
4?
Yo!
This is what I want. More trees. More trees even better.
That's nothing! My drill will pierce the heavens!
Oh, we're already getting
Yo!
into Tekken-Topa. Okay.
Wow, that escalation was quick.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks so pretty.
Fucking Superman.
That's really cool.
They're not.
We do the impossible.
It looks
See
so
the
cool.
invisible.
Oh my
Touch the
god.
untouchable.
Break the unbreakable.
If you ain't know,
Now you know.
Talking talk. Let's go.
Yeah. Insane. Hell yeah. Just as I
I'm
wanted.
Simone the Digger. If there's a wall in my way, I'll smash it down.
Yo, is he gonna? Yo, he drove with a fucking source wall.
Oh my god.
That's it.
Oh, yeah, that's an equation, right? Oh.
stop fighting. Think about your fear of death, your love of your friends, your compassion for me, your hope for the future. Choose life.
Have faith in the Simone that believes in you.
Oh, here he goes.
Super Tekken Topa Gurren Lagann! My drill is the drill that will transcend the heavens! Giga Drill Free!
Oh my god. Oh my god.
This is wild.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god. This is so cool.
The super weapon wasn't your mech.
It was me.
Then, Simone, I'm taking you in
I
brightest
love
day,
that.
in blackest night. No evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power. Green Lantern fly!
Oh, that's. I love that fucking column below.
Let's see you through those teeth!
Yes! Holy shit!
Yes. Oh my god.
You'd make a good lantern.
Simone of Earth, you have been chosen.
Just who the hell do you think I am?
Oh, I love that.
Oh,
The guy with the snazzy sunglasses!
when both combatants possess unlimited power, it's hard to judge them by our normal standards. Take speed. Simone can hit an infinite number of targets all at once, and Kyle can fly fast enough to surpass the normal concept of speed itself.
When you control space and time, things like strength and speed kind of become irrelevant.
Instead, let's analyze them through a lens more applicable to beings as absurd as Simone and Kyle. Their imagination,
can't believe
their
the G1
willpower,
block was
and their
right.
ultimate
Oh my
potential.
First up,
that's
imagination.
insane.
The boundless things they could conjure to use against the other. Both could think up just about anything the other could, like absorbing each other's attacks, fighting across time, anything.
Simone did have a few attacks that Kyle hasn't encountered, like the probability-altering missiles, but it's likely Kyle could adapt considering his ring could protect
Oh my
against
God.
existence being erased across the
Oh,
multiverse.
that was.
And in general,
Oh my God,
Kyle's
that
constructs
part
were
was
a
just
lot
so
more
pretty.
creative than Simone's arsenal,
so
which was
pretty,
mostly
so fucking
drills.
hype.
Though again, nothing Simone couldn't adapt to with, say, his energy absorption. Imagination is a draw.
That leaves the other main factor for both characters, the origin of their unbelievable might, their willpower.
And that's really gonna be the winning factor here, since it's the source of
my God.
everything for both of them. Whoever's got the stronger willpower wins.
Both can manipulate reality on a multiversal scale with their willpower, but we can
Yeah.
use dimensions to roughly calculate a difference. This might sound absurd for most characters, but it's necessary for beings as beyond the pale as Simone and Kyle.
The multiverse labyrinth that Simone absorbed contained 11 spatial dimensions. That's 1.3 dimensions less than the multiverse Kyle's power can threaten.
And remember, each numbered dimension infinitely surpasses the one below it.
Which meant Kyle's willpower was stronger at a base level. However, that doesn't necessarily mean Kyle
base
gets
level?
the edge, because if there's
Oh my
one
God,
thing
they
both
get
of these guys are
stronger.
known for,
I love
it's
that.
that they can always get stronger.
So to determine the limits of their willpower, we first need to understand their full potential.
Simone's whole deal with spiral power is how he can constantly evolve to get stronger. So just because Simone starts off weaker doesn't mean he'll stay that way.
Absorbing the multiverse labyrinth required Simone to leapfrog several orders of infinity in an instant. Simone made himself that much stronger through sheer force of will.
More than enough to close the gap with Kyle, especially since spiral power also lets him regenerate his body down to an informational level. Kyle's never destroyed something that thoroughly before.
Without the ability to easily kill Simone, it was only a matter of time before Kyle's ring ran low on charge. Especially since Simone could likely regenerate for at least a week straight, like Nia did. While Blue Lantern Light could boost Kyle's power, he's never jumped several orders of infinity in strength like Simone has.
And while Kyle could manipulate emotions to reduce Simone's willpower, Simone resisting the labyrinth's mental manipulation meant he could power through anything Kyle threw at him.
Everything,
That's
that is,
wild.
except for the life equation. It originated from a higher level of reality
explain
and would
how
have
he beats
more
that.
than even the odds.
Too bad Kyle couldn't control it. It was just as much a detriment to him as an asset, forcing him to relinquish it
Okay,
to
that
keep
makes
from destroying reality and himself.
Compare that to Simone, who merged with a version of himself writing a version of Gurren Lagann, and using spiral power to make that fiction into reality.
A pretty similar level of reality to the life equation, and a level of power Simone had no trouble embracing and mastering by the end of his story. No
Okay,
matter
that
how
makes
you look
sense.
at it, Simone might start weaker, but his peak will always transcend Kyle's. Isn't that how all of Simone's battles usually go anyway? That's Gurren Lagann in a nutshell.
So Simone's incredible
Sounds about
potential
right.
eclipsed Kyle, which means his willpower was ultimately greater.
Damn.
Kyle may have embodied
Wow.
life itself, but Simone's unstoppable evolutionary potential would shatter even this lantern's light.
I hope Kyle at least dug the fight,
Insane.
because when it comes to death battle losers, he was a dead ringer.
The winner is Simone the Digger.
Next time
Oh, that
on
was
Death
sick.
Battle.
Alright.
What's the next one?
Yeah! Time! Finally time!
Let's go! Oh my god, I'm super excited for this
Subscribe
one.
and join as a member to see more Death Battle. Thanks for watching.
My gosh. That was a really good episode. Holy.
Yeah.
Watch, but oh my god. That was so good. That was so good. I am so glad I did not get spoiled on anything.
Oh god, same. Oh, that was fucking insane. I loved it.
Oh my god. That
Oh
was,
my god. Like, that had pretty much everything I could have wanted out of it and more.
yeah, I
like-
think the characterization especially was just
Yeah,
so
like,
good.
like you could tell that this was a labor of love all the way through. And like,
For sure.
I guess if I had to pick something out, like, the initial pacing was kinda quick, but like, there was no way they were gonna do like every single one of Simone's forms without it being like fucking 10 minutes long.
Oh yeah, they had to make that snappy or else it just wouldn't
Yeah.
be right.
I think, unless you count the fucking Superman bit, I don't think we actually got like a proper mech fight between the two, but I am not complaining when we got everything else that we did. Like,
Yeah.
also, we got the fucking dragged out, fucking bare knuckle brawl at the end, which not only was that what I wanted, but they decided, oh yeah, we're gonna make it even better and have Kyle like bequeath Simone the Green Lantern. Like, that's a fucking touch I didn't know I needed.
Yeah, that would like the climax especially. I just thought did both of the characters extremely well.
Yeah.
It was so
the
hyped
fucking,
too.
the way he incorporated all the other lanterns is so cool. The fucking 3D Fear Dragon.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh my
are
God.
you kidding me? Oh my god.
It's just so good. I just really I love this episode, and I've only seen it once.
It's so sick. I need to fucking rewatch that to catch everything. Like, I'm sure there's also a bunch of black boxes I missed too. But yeah. I know that I said, oh, we'll see on it being a Bowsegg tier episode. Like, no, that's definitely probably gonna be up there. Like, oh my god. Like,
Oh, for sure.
like I think the one thing like keeping it from like dethroning Bowseg at the moment is because like I have more attachment to those characters, but like odds are I'll probably end up finally watching Gurren Lagann before I eventually get to my fucking 24-25 ranking, and at that point, yeah, it may just end up being my new favorite outright.
Oh yeah, like, oh my gosh, you should totally watch Gurren Lagann after this. It is absolutely amazing. I love Studio
I've been
Trigger
telling
and all the
myself
work.
so much. Oh my god, I need to. I need
Yes.
to.
Gosh. Okay.
And then, of course, we're finally getting Wiley versus Tom. I have a feeling that this would be the next one because of like the Comic Palooza thing. Like just because of how they were like phrasing it, because like I know they mentioned they wanted to like premiere at that, and like they mentioned that it was one that we'd been waiting for a while. So like, yeah, it was kind of a foregone conclusion, but that doesn't make it any less exciting because, oh boy, have we waited a long time. I'm very excited to see what they do with that. Like, and oh my god, I'm sorry, I have no words for what I just witnessed on both ends of like the episode itself and the next time. I'm just that fucking like, oh, I'm that jazzed. I'm so happy.
No, like, I totally get it. Like, oh my gosh, this is really good, and I don't really have much words to say.
Yeah, oh my god. Oh my god, this might end up being like the shortest video yet, just because like, well, one, there's just the two of us, and two, there's just like, what do we even say? What do we even say?
Like, yeah, here's the thing, right? I feel like on rewatch, we're probably gonna notice like more things in the fight because like there's just so much going on. I felt like the crew would have snuck in like a few Easter eggs. Like I feel like we would have seen a Chuck Seggett reference like, in there somewhere.
There's no doubt that they had to.
Oh yeah, oh my god, I totally cannot wait to rewatch this episode later.
God, same. Oh, it's so fucking good.
Yeah, I'm just like, okay, so for the next time, like I know like they're gonna like totally like pop off with the hand-drawn stuff. I feel like,
it's Louise. Like, it's Louise. Of course it's gonna go hard. And like, we saw like the snippets that they gave, and like I think it was one of the firesides, but like, oh my god, it's looking like it's gonna be so fucking good.
I'm really excited for that one. Like, gosh, I'm wondering if like comparing it to like other like hand-drawn episodes like of that nature, like I have two at the top of my head. Like, there's Mass Deadpool, and there is Saitama Popeye with those hand animated portions. I wonder if it'll be better than that, honestly.
Entirely possible. Like, I think my favorites are Scooby Courage and Jack Afro, which, oh my gosh, the fucking Louise episodes.
I can't believe I forgot about this too. Yeah, but I was kind of like thinking more in tone for for Tom versus Wiley, but like I just wonder how like what they'll use essentially. Like I feel like there's gonna be a lot to pull from in the fight.
Yeah, absolutely, especially with how long running these characters are. I'd be surprised if they managed to actually pull everything. Like I would not be surprised if there were like cartoons for both. Oh, excuse me, I had a bit of a hiccup there. I wouldn't be surprised if they had stuff going in that like they ended up missing just because there was so much, or I wouldn't be surprised if there was even some lost media for either of them that they can't get.
Oh yeah,
but
I'm
sure that they're going to pull as much as they can, and I cannot wait for the end product because I know that they're gonna go ham.
Like, for sure, because like, oh my god, I've been rooting for the underdogs every single time. I've been rooting for Ghost Rider, I'm rooting for Simone. I'm gonna root for Tom because like I feel like there might just be something that gives him like at least an advantage over Wiley that gives him the win, and I'm just really excited for the debate and for what G1 like predicts for that, because like, oh my god, I don't know, Tom and Jerry was like a huge part of my childhood, so like,
yeah,
you know.
Same. Oh, I love it so much, and I'm very excited to see how they handle it, because like Looney Looney Tunes obviously is one that people have been saying for a long time is a fucking series that, like, they needed to get to eventually. But, like, Tom and Jerry is not one that I had seen, like, nearly as talked about in a Versus sense, so I'm very interested to see, like, what they're able to pull from for that. Though I have no doubt that, like, it'll be as crazy as we all expect and hope it will be.
Oh my gosh. My only bummer is that, like, I don't think I can make fan art for the next episode, because I don't think... Oh wait, actually? I think I can. Hold on. Oh wait! Oh my god, thank goodness, both have models. I will definitely be cooking fan art for this episode.
Hell fucking
probably,
yeah.
Probably tonight, actually. Oh my god, I'm really excited.
This is gonna be so fucking sick. I would not be surprised if, like, we end up getting, like, 2 Supreme Bangers in a row between, like, Simone Kyle and Wiley Tom. Cause, like...
Yeah.
Oh my fucking god.
I mean, like, we've been on a pretty good, like, hand-drawn episode streak with with the portions in Eggman versus Bowser, Mahito versus Shigaraki I thought was really good. Simon versus Kyle was, like, speechless.
It's fucking insane, yeah. Like,
Absolutely
also,
speechless.
remember when back in season 10 that, like, we would only have the one instance of 2 hand-drawn episodes back-to-back? Lol. Lamau.
Why can't I get 3 and 4 now? Like, oh my gosh, we're getting spoiled.
Yeah, well, technically, like, we're only having, like, Simone Kyle, Tom Wiley back-to-back, but, like, the fact that we have, like, Bowseg and Mahito Shigaraki in such in close proximity, like, oh my god. Yeah, they really have been spoiling us between, like everyone that popped off for this. Oh, by the way, I did catch, like, a couple moments that were very distinctly, like, I could tell that Larry did those, and, like, oh my god, he did such a good job. I'm so glad that he's... I hope he ends up becoming, like, an actual proper member of the team, but, like, oh my god.
Yeah, I noticed those art style changes.
Yeah. This episode was fucking sick.
Oh yeah, I just... Like...
I'm almost convinced that this episode almost cured my cold.
Yeah, I just, like... You can tell, like, the amount of love just put into this episode just really made me happy, and the amount of, like, the amount of, like, passion more recently with, like, how the Kickstarter was able to, like, fund all of this, like, more high-quality stuff compared to, like, the other season of the Death Battle just makes me so happy for, like, how far we've come. Like, I've been watching this show since Godzilla vs. Gamera. Seeing it come all the way up to this point is just so good.
It's wild. Like, it really is wild to see how far they've come from here. Like, as someone who's been in this from, like, basically the beginning, since, like, I mentioned it before, I started on, like, around the time when Goomba vs. Koopa was the newest episode. And, like, seeing, like, this is, like, it makes me feel proud to have stuck with Death Battle as long as I have, because, like, throughout all of the years that they've been doing this, like, they're coming up on 15 years this year, and, like, you can really tell that they've finally had the chance to really spread their wings, like, as of, like, even as early as Season 8, where it really started to ramp up, but, like, you could really tell with Season 10, and going forward, it's just been wild. And I'm very excited for what the future holds. Even if the rest of this year ends up mostly being stuff we already know.
I'm fine with that. Like, I feel like after Tom Isle, I have a hunch, and I have a really big hunch it's gonna be Hulk Godzilla, which, oh my god, it went from, like, it went from one of my most, like least wanted episodes to one of my most wanted in, like, heartbeat. It was just, oh my god.
I'm very
I love it
interested
now.
to see what they do with that one. Like, it's not necessarily a matchup I'm, like, super clamoring for, but, like, I'm very interested to see what kind of direction they take it.
I just want Godzilla back on the show again, like, and I think Hulk definitely deserves to get a run back, considering, you know.
Yeah, hopefully he'll get a modern episode with good sound design.
We don't talk about Hulk vs. Broly.
Oh,
I mean,
actually, imagine if Hulk goes 0 for 3!
that, okay, first of all, I feel happy that my Go Godzilla wins. Childhood hero, he's my fave. But second of all, oh my god, I feel really bad for him, and I am friends with the Hulk
so
man.
bad for Hulk fans,
Oh my
especially as
God.
someone who does think the Hulk is rather cool, I must say.
Yeah, Bruce is just super underrated, and his relationship with Hulk is just something that does need to be explored more, and I think would be perfect to touch on into the episode, considering the more recent runs with the Immortal Hulk, I think.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I did think of something that's like kind of a bit of a slight negative for Smoke Kyle.
Mhm.
The track is just Will of the Drill again.
I mean, it depends if you really like Will of the Drill.
Oh no, yeah. I'm not saying I dislike Will of the Drill. I'm just saying I was kind of hoping like they would like diverge a little bit more. Like I don't mind like references and motifs and like in terms of like lyrics and all that. Maybe I just need to like listen to it on its own and rewatch the episode to like get like a better grasp. But like from the impression I got, it felt like very, very much retreading ground. And that's kind of the one thing I was hoping wouldn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think it was like, they said that I think it was Brandon, right?
Yes, I believe it was Brandon.
Who said he was gonna make it better, and I mean, like, I guess, like, maybe I just need to listen to the track on my own again to, like, get a better judgment, but, like, you know, I wasn't really paying attention to the music, I was just, I think, immersed by the fight.
Oh no, yeah. I think maybe it doesn't help that we just got the remaster for Will of the Drill right before this. But yeah. I honestly think, like, I definitely think this is one of my favorite conclusions, if for no other reason than the fact that they completely threw the typical metrics out of the window. Because they just didn't fucking matter here.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, I think Kyle has one of, if not my favorite comic rundown. And then Simone, I think I would have to, like, rewatch. I really think they did, like, not only Gurren Lagann, but, like, the entire mecha genre justice here. And and it makes me very excited to say, because it means, like, if they were to revisit this genre again with something like Getter Mazinger, Char Lelouch, or something like that, like, it gives me a lot more faith than, like, previous episodes have on recent reflection of them.
Oh yeah, like I feel like Gundam or like just mecha episodes have not had a good track record, considering like I don't think anybody remembers Tiger Zord versus Gundam and Prion.
Yeah, I still remember it, but like, oh my god, like Gundam just couldn't catch a break.
The fact that like they had to use like a toy render for Gundam Embryon is just kinda ouch. I was like, oh well, it's been a while since I've last seen the episode, so you know. But like oh my god, I don't even know what to talk about now. I'm just like
yeah. Do we just want to call it here? Because like we've kind of like gone over like kind of like been ping ponging all over the place.
Yeah. I just want to say, as my first ever like watch party reaction with you, this was really, really fun. I had a really good time.
Yeah, I did too. I really enjoyed hanging out with you for this reaction. Alright, but yeah, in case, I will go ahead and let you go, and I will wrap things up here. Have a good one, Nitrox. I will talk to you later.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for watching. If you want to help support the channel further, obviously you can like, share, comment, and subscribe, but another good way to do so is through my Patreon. For $5 a month, you can get your name listed at the end of videos, $10 gets your name read, early access to videos, and access to exclusive polls. $20 a month will also give you access to bonus behind-the-scenes content like bloopers. And if you want to be really generous, for $50 a month, you can also get access to the scripts themselves for scripted videos. If you don't have that much to give, or you don't want to give for every month, I also have a $1 tier and a Ko-fi for one-time donations. Any bit helps a lot. Special thanks to my current $10 and up patrons, Nige Misuho and Noah Green. And as always, stay safe out there and have a good one.